Yo, what's up everybody? I'm in World 7 and today we had the Apple event. It just finished like 5 minutes ago, so I'm recording this as fast as I can. And guys, let me tell you, I'm excited. There was nothing that I personally would buy. But the implications of this event are monumental when it comes to the Mac and anyway, the future of PCs. Because this is the start when Apple gets free reign on doing the computer desktop and mobile like laptops the way they want to and actually bring the fight straight to the PC market. So stick around and find out why. Even though it was not a pro level per se majority event, it was definitely the foundation for what's to come. And if you're not interested in today's products, stick around and I'll tell you why you are going to pay attention come next year. So guys, I'm gonna start with the Apple Silicon right here. This image speaks volumes. Everything on Apple right now is gonna be system on a chip, SoC, meaning it's gonna be more similar in line with like your Xbox Series X or your PlayStation 5, which by the way, I'll have another video on the channel. So if you wanna talk about those things too, not just Apple and technology, don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the bell activated along the way so you get notified whenever those videos come out. But guys, the Apple Silicon event, this chip right here, the M1, is the first of its kind. It puts everything in. It will allow your Mac to be able to open up and then boot up or wake up more precisely, just like you do with an iPad or iPhone. You know, Apple's always had that struggle that they can't do that sleep to wake function, but now they can do it. It's gonna have all the T stuff, you know, the T2, whatever, even the next versions of that. So all the securities of iOS and iPad can now be implemented into your Mac thanks to this chip. Plus, it's just power efficiency and whatnot. And let's dive into the actual products now. And let me tell you, technically, all these products have a octa-core chip on them, but I believe it's more precise to say in quad-core. But let's talk about that. Apple announced today the new MacBook Air. It doesn't necessarily, change the game when it comes to body design, which is what I was expecting. If you check this little bubble on top here with my prior video, I definitely believe that they were not going to redesign most of this or anything because they were going to milk the current design. And of course, it is much easier to show that our designs were good. It's just Intel sucked. And henceforth, the MacBook Pro, which we'll cover towards the end of the video, so stick around on that one. But guys, the new MacBook Air, for me, it has no interest on it. It's too weak. It's not going to do what I needed to do. But with the M1, I am curious to see how far you can push it. And then once a product that fits more my level of requirements, see if the new chip for that, which I'm pretty sure they're going to call it the M2 or something like that. But or the M1X, whatever. We'll see what happens next year. But the MacBook Air, it retains its price of $999, which is $1,000. Come on, guys. Let's get rid of the stupid decimal point in our system. Like if you agree. But the MacBook Air is going to go, the spec sheets are right here as what you can do with it as Max, configuration and the speeds and all that stuff. So we don't go too much. You can pause the video and read on that, and that's what I'll do with the next products. MacBook Air, I think it's good. I think it's finally put iPad power and iPhone quality into efficiency into the MacBook Air, which if you're interested, let me know in the comment section why. But I think for the average person, like a college student and whatnot, this MacBook Air might be just a do-it-all machine, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about gaming though. On that one, I'm still, we'll see, because iPad's a beast. Next up in line is the Mac Mini, the new one. This is sort of a weird one, guys, for me, because here's the thing. The Mac Mini Pro, the gray, space gray version, now sells more expensive than this M1 version for about $100 for the highest end, if I remember correctly. Here's the spec sheet for, all the details on the Mac Mini. But my question is the M1 better than the Intel i5 8th generation version that they have on the actual space gray one? So if you want to dive more into that, stick on the channel with a subscribe and all that GZ good stuff and World 7 on social medias, and I'll update you on that when we get comparisons and whatnot. But for now, I don't know what's up with that. But the Mac Mini is gunning this chip, and honestly, the Mac Mini has been one of my favorite ones that I've always wanted to have one just to have it, but I can't get myself to, get enough extra cash to shell out for it. But I think that for the Mac Mini's actual usage, so rack servers and all that stuff that people use it for, and of course the entry model into the Mac OS infrastructure, I think it's great and it's perfect. I think the Mac Mini and the MacBook Air out of this M1 get the best, are the ones who needed it the most. Because the past versions, I just heard from a lot of friends that they just lacked, that hump. And now here's the big honcho, the big daddy, the MacBook Pro 13-inch, which keeps the same design, sort of the same as the Mac Mini before, and same as the MacBook Air, but I'm not surprised. Like I said earlier, they were gonna milk these designs and they wanted to showcase, which I believe is what Intel failed to deliver. I think Apple expected to have this thin of a device and have a certain amount of power to it, Whoa. But Intel failed at delivering the chips that they needed for it. And that's why it kind of pushed, I think Apple was always going to do this eventually, but Intel kind of shot themselves in the foot by not delivering up to, Apple's demands. But the MacBook Pro, guys, here's the spec sheet, here's the pricing. This puppy is where I'm interested to see how far it can go compared to its Intel counterparts, which still cost more on the website right now. As of right now, the Intel versions cost more. So I'm wondering why. Why is that? Is Apple, trying to say that more expensive version, we have to charge more because of this, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they're not saying why, you know what I'm saying? But the image, the perception is going to be, why would I buy an Intel one when I can buy the Apple one? But of course, some people are still going to need the Intel, and we'll see what happens with that. But guys, software-wise, I hope that your professional tools will, get updated for that. But this is why I think Apple's not going to deliver higher-end chips. So let's talk about that to finish up on this video. But yeah, that's the MacBook Pro, and I'm excited. I'm excited for people to test it out. To wrap things up, the event for pro, mid-tier, or even high-tech enthusiasts are not gonna, I think they're gonna think it's lackluster, but I don't think it was. I think for education, for new people, Tim Cook made it clear that, 50% of people are new to Mac. I think that for most people, same thing with like the iPhone XR and that kind of situation mentality of, yeah, you're the pro, you're the high-tech nerd. Well, if you're not pleased, this event's not for you. We're building up to that. The pro users, their software needs to be built for this thing. The migration over to Intel, the migration from Intel over to the M1 or the Apple Silicon is gonna take time. And so I think it makes sense to start with the low to mid-tier, consumer-based software, and then the high pro software can, piggyback off of that, and then once that foundation is set, we move on to the next year where we're gonna see the big honchos, the big daddies, the new iMacs, the new MacBook Pro high-end one, and of course the Mac Pro, the iMac Pro over here. I'm glad they didn't update it because I was gonna feel like my little puppy over here is old, 2017, and we barely got it. My wife and I got it like at the beginning of this year, so because my MacBook Pro just couldn't handle the workflow of 4K videos and stuff. So anyway, guys, stay put with the updates. That's the Apple event. If it's lackluster or not, let me know why you think it isn't, and share your opinion in the comment section below. But I'm in World 7, and I hope you enjoyed this coverage. Till next time, peace.